Welcome to the deep dive. We're your express lane to, well, really getting a handle on the forces shaping our world. And today we're jumping into something that's not just relevant, it's frankly redefining how pretty much every business operates. We're talking artificial intelligence and specifically large language models. So our mission here is simple: cut through all the jargon, the buzzwords, and give you a clear map. We've got 15 essential concepts. These aren't just tech terms. They're really the building blocks for understanding how AI and LLMs are actually used right now in business. Think of it like a strategic shortcut. It'll help you decipher the news, join those tech talks, and feel ready to maybe leverage these ideas yourself. The source material we're drawing from, it's super concise, really clear explanations, and packed with practical business examples. That's what we'll be unpacking for you.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is seeing how these concepts, which might seem purely technical, directly unlock actual business capabilities. It's about going beyond just hearing a term. It's really about understanding its role, its foundation, and that understanding. That's what empowers you to apply it strategically. It's the difference really between hearing a buzzword and knowing how to use it.
Okay, let's dive in then. Let's unpack this. First flag on the map: LLM. It's everywhere when people talk AI in business. For someone just getting started, how do you break down what an LLM is, like at its absolute core?
Right. So at its heart, an LLM, a large language model, it's basically a predictive AI. It's been trained on just massive, massive amounts of text and code. And that allows it to not just generate language that sounds human, but also to understand it. It fundamentally changes how fast businesses can create communications, personalize things, even explore new content ideas without huge teams. For example, you could use something like GPT-4 to draft LinkedIn posts or customer emails, even complicated policy memos. And they sound human. They sound relevant to the context you give it.
I remember the first time I saw one generate a marketing brief. It really did feel a bit like magic. For our listeners, how does that magic actually work, especially thinking about how these models read things and even how you get charged for using them?
Tokens, right? Exactly. Tokens. They're the basic units these models work with. Think of a token as roughly 4 characters of text. Or, maybe easier, about 3/4 of an average word. This sort of granularity lets the model process and predict text very precisely. It's building text piece by piece. And yes, that unit, the token, is also how services like, say, OpenAI or Anthropic bill you. So if your prompt, your instruction, plus the model's answer totals 1,000 tokens, that's the amount they use for billing. Simple as that.
Okay, so tokens are the currency then. How do we tell the AI what we want? That would be the prompt.
The prompt is just your instruction, the input you give the model. It's your direct interface. So for instance, you might type in, summarize this marketing report in 3 bullet points for executives, and boom, you get a quick, high-level summary seconds later. And of course, the better your prompt, the better the results you'll get.
Right. Now, these LLMs are amazing at conversation, but they don't remember everything forever, do they? There's a limit to what they can keep track of in one go. That's the context window, isn't it?
Yes, the context window is basically the model's short-term memory for a particular interaction.
Yeah.
It's the number of tokens. This lets it follow a conversation or understand a longer document you feed it. So, for example, you could give it a 50-page customer success guide and then just ask, what's our refund policy? You can answer accurately because that whole guide fits within its context window. No retraining needed for that specific task.
Okay, this next one: hallucination. What's the key thing listeners need to grasp about this? It sounds kind of worrying.
Well, it can be if you're not aware of it. Hallucination is when the model essentially invents information. It sounds perfectly plausible, often very confident, but it's just incorrect. Not based on facts. It's not lying exactly. It's just predicting what text should come next based on patterns it learned, even if there's no real-world basis for it. Because fundamentally, these are prediction engines, amazing pattern matchers, but they aren't inherently truth finders. So for anything business critical, human oversight, fact-checking, or using a grounding strategy like RAG, which we'll get to, becomes absolutely essential.
So if these general models can sometimes make things up, how do you tailor them? Make them accurate for your specific business context. That brings us to fine-tuning. What does that actually involve?
Fine-tuning is essentially custom training. You take a base model, like a GPT-4, and you train it further on your own private proprietary data. This makes it much more relevant and accurate for your specific tasks and your company's knowledge. As for the undertaking, well, you need enough high-quality data. That's the key. Imagine, say, a consulting firm. They could fine-tune a model on all their past project reports and slide decks. Then, it could automatically generate draft proposals that already sound like them, use their methodology, reference their past work. Huge time saver, better consistency.
Interesting. Moving beyond just text generation, models need to understand meaning, right? For things like advanced search. This sounds pretty powerful. Embeddings, what are those?
Embeddings are, well, they're the numerical representations of meaning. It's a way to turn texts or other data types into lists of numbers, vectors that capture semantic relationships. This is pretty groundbreaking because it lets computers sort of do math on meaning itself, find connections you wouldn't see with just keywords. So you use these embeddings for similarity searches, grouping related items, or really sophisticated semantic search. For instance, you could embed thousands of legal documents or maybe all your customer feedback. Then when someone searches, you find documents based on conceptual relevance, not just keyword matching. It's much smarter.
And speaking of smarter, building on making models accurate, especially with company secrets or sensitive data, how do you force them to stick to the facts, to your trusted sources? This seems like the thing that's really unlocking enterprise use, retrieval augmented generation, or RA.
Yes, RA is absolutely crucial for enterprise adoption, especially with sensitive data. It's a process where, before the LLM even tries to answer your question, it first goes and retrieves relevant information from a predefined set of trusted sources. This could be your internal knowledge base, specific databases, secure documents, whatever you define. Then critically, it uses that retrieved information to construct its answer. This drastically reduces hallucinations and ensures the answers are based on your actual verified data. It lets them safely leverage your proprietary info. A good example, an internal AI help desk bot. It pulls answers directly from the latest HR policies or employee handbooks to give accurate, reliable responses to staff questions.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly. How do these models actually learn to do specific things? Few-shot learning. Sounds like giving it a couple of hints.
That's a perfect way to put it. Few-shot learning is exactly that. You give the model just a few examples of what you want right there in the prompt. It's like a quick, on-the-fly mini training session. So maybe you paste in 2 examples of cold emails written in your specific style and tone. Then you ask it to write a third one for a new prospect. It picks up the pattern from your examples, adapts really quickly. Zero-shot learning is when the model can perform a task based just on the instructions in your prompt without needing any prior examples of that specific task from you. It leverages its vast pre-training knowledge. So you can just say, summarize this call transcript and pull out the next steps. Even if it's never seen your transcript format, it understands summarize and extract next steps conceptually, so it can usually do a decent job right out of the box.
Okay, so these learning methods, few shot, zero shot, they tie back to how we actually talk to the model to get good results. Which brings us to prompt engineering. You mentioned it earlier. It sounds simple, just write a good prompt, but I bet there's an art to it.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a skill, sometimes even trial and error. Prompt engineering is really the craft of designing those inputs, those prompts, very carefully. The goal is to guide the model's behavior effectively, to get much better, more relevant outputs. It's more than just asking a basic question. So instead of just saying, write an email, a good prompt engineer might specify. Act as a sales VP. Write a warm but concise follow-up email to a B2B prospect after a product demo. Focus on reinforcing the key benefit of scalability we discussed. That level of detail and context really matters for getting quality results that meet a business need.
Right. Models can actually take actions, become agents. This feels like where it starts to get really futuristic.
It does feel like a big step up. Agents are essentially LLMs that can do more than just talk. They can reason, plan multi-step tasks, and critically interact with other tools or systems. They might use external software, call APIs, access databases to achieve a more complex goal. They're not just responding, they're acting. Imagine an agent handling a support ticket. It reads the ticket, searches your knowledge base for the right solution, maybe updates the customer record in your CRM, and then writes a personalized response. All those steps done automatically. That's a huge leap in potential automation.
And for getting deeper insights from these models, especially for complex problems, there's chain of thought reasoning. Is this like asking the AI to show it's working, like in math class?
That's a fantastic analogy, yes. Chain of thought reasoning is a prompting technique. You specifically tell the model to break down its thinking process, to outline the logical steps it's taking before it gives you the final answer. By forcing it to articulate its reasoning path, you often get much richer, more nuanced analysis. It helps you understand how it reached a conclusion, which is super valuable.
And equally vital, especially for businesses deploying this stuff, is safety and control, guardrails. This isn't just about avoiding trouble, right? It sounds like it's about making the AI reflect your company's values, too.
You've absolutely nailed it. Guardrails are more than just safety nets. They are the rules, the filters, the logic you build around the LLM to constrain what it can say or do. Yes, it's about keeping it safe, compliant, avoiding harmful output. but it's also fundamentally about keeping it on brand, ensuring it aligns with your company's policies and ethical standards. So that AI HR bot we mentioned, it would absolutely have guardrails. They'd block it from trying to give medical diagnoses or legal advice. Instead, it would be programmed to say, I can't help with that, but here's the contact for HR, or direct them to the right resource. It ensures safety and proper procedure.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, last one. How do businesses actually plug these powerful AI engines into their own software, their existing workflows for real-time stuff, the LLM API?
Right, the API application programming interface. An LLM API is simply the technical gateway. It's the way your own software applications can connect to and communicate with the large language model. It lets your system send prompts to the LLM and receive the generated responses back, integrating AI capabilities directly into your existing processes. For instance, maybe your ERP system, your main business software, could use an LLM API. It could automatically pull live sales data each month, send it to the LLM via the API with a prompt like, summarize key performance trends, and get back a concise summary to include in reports. All automated, all integrated.
Wow. So we've just covered 15 pretty fundamental concepts, from the basics, like what an LLM even is and tokens, all the way to advanced stuff like RAG for accuracy, agents taking action, and using APIs to hook it all up. Hopefully you listening now have a much clearer map of this complex landscape, but it's also packed with opportunity. Having this knowledge, it's genuinely valuable for staying current.
Absolutely. And if we just connect this back to the big picture, understanding these terms really does empower you. It's not just about knowing the words, it's about being able to engage with these AI advancements more meaningfully. You can ask better questions, identify the right opportunities for your situation, and really understand what's happening as this technology evolves so quickly.
It's certainly a fascinating area to explore.
And it leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? As these concepts, these AI and LLM tools, become even more sophisticated, more deeply woven into everything businesses do, how might our very understanding of automation versus human collaboration continue to shift and evolve in the years ahead? Something to ponder.